globalists have controlled the mainstream media for a long time, but now they're expanding and making the weaponization even more vicious and deceptive. All the major networks are state-run.
We are partnering this year with the NFL.
The NFL has become a political weapon against the Second Amendment and pushes Obamacare. MSNBC tells us that our children belong to the state.
We have to break through our kind of private idea that kids belong to their parents or kids belong to their families and recognize that kids belong to whole communities.
It is more important than ever to realize that we are not the alternative media. We are the true media. The establishment dinosaur press is dying.
We are in an information war, and we are losing that war.
Join us at InfoWarsNews.com and PrisonPlanet.tv. Members can share their memberships with up to 11 people. By subscribing, you will literally be buying war bonds in the info war to expand our operation in the face of the tyrants. Join us at PrisonPlanet.tv. This is Alex Jones for InfoWarsLife.com. The latest in preparedness is now here. An electrically stabilized colloidal silver solution that can be added to both your home cabinet and preparedness pack alike. Concentrated to 30 parts per million. And what has been dubbed the survival silver solution. The new InfoWars Life Silver Bullet Colloidal Silver is the answer for you and your family. And it's entirely free of toxic artificial additives that are loaded into many products. The InfoWars Life Silver Bullet Silver is so powerful that it is concentrated into a 2-ounce bottle and is not recommended for extended continual use. This is not a low-grade formula. We are working with one of the top laboratory manufacturers in the United States to bring you the best form of colloidal silver using electrical processes within a base of deionized water for your preparedness storage or your home kitchen. Purchase your bottle of InfoWarsLife.com Silver Bullet Colloidal Silver today and find other amazing supplements at InfoWarsLife.com. The globalist social engineers are not just targeting us with propaganda. They are manipulating our genetics. We are being targeted at every level by estrogen mimickers that lower our testosterone and other hormones and natural compounds that the body needs. After consulting top doctors, nutritionists, pharmacists, and others, we have developed what I believe is the ultimate non-GMO organic super male vitality formula sourced from powerful organic herbs and then concentrated for maximum potency. Super Male Vitality was developed to activate your body's own natural processes instead of using synthetic chemicals. Super Male Vitality by InfoWars Life is so powerful that I only take half the recommended dose. For a limited time, we are offering 15% off Super Male Vitality at InfoWarsLife.com to introduce you to this powerful supplement. Visit InfoWarsLife.com today to secure your Super Male Vitality. InfoWarsLife.com.
Fitting that a free screen should sound the alarm against those who would destroy freedom. For in its power to deceive and inflame, or enlighten and inspire, the motion picture has no equal.
I've got Chris's T-Mobile Droid in here, and we scanned the 54 apps that are on his. And if you look, he's got the free iPhone app that we put out 4 years ago, the one with the standard radio app that were used by hundreds of radio stations. And we have a green rating showing that version 3.4.8 that's used by hundreds of thousands of people, it has a green rating. There's some in here that he has on his phone that have a orange rating or a red rating. I want to ask John McAfee, the antivirus guru who's launched Decentral. Best, easiest place to find it is whoismcafee.com. You just go there, and I can't wait till it's on the Apple platform. I'm going to put it on mine. It's just great to know and to create awareness of this, of who's spying on you. What does it mean that Yahoo has an orange rating? The battery saver has up to a middle rating. The Google settings is into the middle, into the red rating. What are the rating systems on here? What does it mean that I have a green rating? Is that good?
What you can do is you can click on that specific app, Alex, and it will tell you exactly what that app is doing. It'll tell you whether it's accessing the camera or the microphone, whether it's reading your emails or SMS messages, whether it's making phone calls without your knowledge. Keep in mind that Google is highly rated as undesirable, not undesirable, but invasive of your privacy, because they are the world's collector of data. They want to know everything about you. So again, clicking on it, it'll give you a rating. Then when you click on the application, it will tell you why it's given that rating. Whether it's just your email messages, or whether it's reading your contacts and downloading your contacts information, or what have you. Some apps do all of that. Some apps read the phone, use the phone, send SMS messages, read the SMS messages, read the email, watch you, listen to you, all of the above. So clicking on them will tell you that.
So even though mine is very simple and we set up with a mainline company to have limited stuff, the way the internet's designed, it has some data just so it can give you higher or lower quality audio depending on how good your internet is. And then even though we have a 4-year-old app that's been updated, it's still got issues, and it's compared to other stuff on your thing, you know, super good rated, but still is basically wide open. I guess the internet itself has been built to spy on people.
Well, I don't think that was the original intent, of course. I think the original intent was to assist communication and share knowledge. But very quickly, I think corporate and government agencies have said, whoa, this is a terrific platform that we can use to increase our profits, to spy on our citizens, to control our citizenry. And that's what it's being used for now. And we are culpable in that we willingly do these things. We willingly download these apps because they make life a little bit easier. But the price for that ease is the loss of privacy.
So it's Trojan horses. We literally take the so-called free gift, but it's not free. We take the Palantir from Sauron, but it's so he can control us.
That's it. Basically, it is not free. It doesn't cost you money. It costs you a lot more than money. It costs you your privacy, your intimacy. I mean, think about it, Alex. I mean, if you give an app the ability to read all of your emails, some people, you know, they send quite juicy emails to their spouses or you know, their lovers. Good Lord, do you want that downloaded and accessible to some corporation? I don't think so. And yet you willingly, when you load these apps, give that app the right to do that. It's insane. We need to get a grip on ourselves. We need to understand what we have done with the technology that we have created. We have created a monster, and we have let that monster into our home.
That's right. John McAfee is our guest. Again, I'm Alex Jones with Infowars.com. Let me just get into some news with you, John. This is always interesting. What do you think of this situation out in Nevada, where clearly, if you know the laws, as you do, they've had grazing rights for 140-plus years. They've got, you know, cattle crossing signs there. They've run 53 families out of the area. They're the last family out there. And now they're tasering people, beating up protesters, telling the governor to go jump in the lake when clearly they have the grazing rights, the surface rights, the water rights. And BLM all over the country is kicking people off public land where they have grazing rights for hundreds of years in some cases. And government literally with attack dogs, bugging their eyes out. It just seems like this imperious attitude. What's your take on that?
Yeah, don't talk to me about the law, Alex. I've been sued 100 times in 22 years and spent over $10 million in legal fees. The problem with the law is that it helps now just the lawyers. I mean, lawyers are making out like crazy, and it helps those who are in power. So the law is something that's no longer of a blind lady with a scale. No, it's something where the rich weigh the balance, where the people in power, the people who have greed, weigh this balance. So you know, I'm the last person in the world to talk about this. I'm excessively biased. $10 million, Alex, in 22 years in legal fees. Now, this is outrageous. And again, I agree with you. I mean, grazing rights are you know, they were established hundreds of years ago. And if we look at the reality of the situation, grazing rights, well, that's food. It's one of our necessities. And when we restrict ranchers, when we restrict farmers, when we legislate against the manufacturers of our food, you know, we're stepping on very dangerous ground.
Well, that's right. And beef prices are at all-time high because people are getting out of the cattle business because of the regulations.
Absolutely.
And the meat packers are on record, had the FDA shut down all their competition to create a bottleneck. I mean, this is outrageous.
Well, I lived in New Mexico for a number of years, and it's all ranching territory. I know how tough ranching is. I've never done it myself, but all of my neighbors did it. I have a healthy respect for that lifestyle. I have a healthy respect for their attitudes, and I have a healthy respect for their work ethics. I mean, they work harder than anyone, and they are put upon by everybody. Certainly the government. You know, the government wants land. We're running out of space. We need this. We need that. You know, and a rancher that has 100,000 acres and is working his ass off trying to make a living. Well, that's great. That's 100,000 acres I can use for development.
It's unbelievable. I mean, it's just, I have family in farming and ranching, and the bureaucrats will go harass some little ranch with 300 cows or 100, where you can't make a living on that. And then they have big agri just above the law, and no one even messes with them because they write the laws. And this country's gone from being able to feed the whole world in the 50s to we import half our food and a third of our beef now. I mean, they have really jacked this country up. Absolutely. And if you think about it, food, clothing, and shelter are the basic necessities of life. When we can no longer feed ourselves as a nation, when we make it difficult for the manufacturers of food or the producers of food to actually make a living, then it makes sense for them to get out of that business and do something else. It's insane, sir. Well, it's like third world countries and dictatorships are always hell pits because the control freaks just want to control everything and point guns at people and walk around in black uniforms, and pretty soon everything falls apart. Great job. Well, it does indeed, and I think it starts with our privacy, Alex. If we don't have privacy and if everyone knows what everyone is doing, we're living in a nightmare. We're living in a world where we've lost our humanity. We've lost our basic ability to have communion and intimacy. Intimacy does not involve outside parties. It does not involve corporations and governments. That's right. Free association means we can go into a house and play poker if we want. Or it means we can go with our wife and do what we want, or our girlfriend, or our husband. It means we lower the shades, not that we're doing something bad, but because this is our house. It's not your house. We build a fence because we don't want you looking at us. And we have intimacy. Now, privacy is a matter of choice, Alex. I mean, when you first meet someone, you don't divulge your most intimate secrets, do you? It doesn't happen. After 3 or 4 dinners, you might tell them, where you work and a little bit about your life. When you become very close to someone, you start divulging, like your spouse, your wife, your husband. You start divulging things about yourself which really don't belong in the world at large. Wait, I know where you're going with this. I just clicked. You're right. You only share the keys to your kingdom with people you love and trust, yes. And they are robbing and raping something that you might not even tell your wife your deepest secrets. And these little bastards at Microsoft and these people at Google and these people at the NSA and Defense Intelligence and all over are literally raping us. This is outrageous. Well, it's not just that. And here's the issue. In releasing Decentral One, I took a major risk, Alex, because I am going against the corporate thrust of every major corporation and every major data acquisition company. Google, I probably am the most unpopular person in the world for Google because my app will tell you what Google is doing. Sure, when you first read the fine print, it says, well, you're giving us the right to do a number of things, so you have to agree to that. And you say, sure, without thinking. What my app does is make you think. It points out exactly what you have done. You've given them the right to turn on your camera, your phone, to listen to you, to read your emails. It is unbelievable. And so I'm going to be a very unwanted person to almost every company in America because every company depends upon marketing data for profit. Incredible. John McAfee is our guest. Well, John, in closing, and I hope you'll come back soon, what is your take on the Attorney General and the fact that they're using the IRS against their political enemies and haven't gotten in trouble, and Obamacare and Fast and Furious? More and more people are coming out calling them criminals, and now they're threatening people back. Where do you see this country going? Well, Alex, first of all, I think it's an atrocity. However, this is nothing new, Alex. This has been going on since the times of J. Edgar Hoover and even before.
It's just what power does. Power corrupts people, Alex. It does. And absolute power corrupts people absolutely. And it may be